As daycares welcome kids back, some opt for more time to make sure everything's in place. And how you can help local blood centers as a nationwide shortage impacts Kentuckians.
The heat and humidity continue Tuesday, but a cold front will cool us down and bring more comfortable temperatures by the end of the week. I'll have a look at your forecast right now at 6.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
Good evening again. I'm Steve Hensley. Today, Governor Andy Beshear gave his first live briefing since last Thursday. Despite an uptick in COVID-19 cases earlier in the weekend, only 70 cases and 1 new death was reported on Sunday. 120 cases were reported today and another death. That brings the totals to 11,476 cases statewide. Now, the death toll is up to 472. Today, daycares with 10 or fewer kids reopened in Kentucky. Now the countdown is on for those that have more than 10 and are not in a home setting. WYMT's Will Puckett talked with the managing director of one that is not opening next week and tells us why.
Mary Mullins is the managing director at New Beginnings Child Development Center.
There's safety measures. No, I think considering it's pretty realistic.
Since mid-March, they have been wondering when they would be able to welcome kids back into classrooms.
And we tried. We scrambled. We were trying to get everything together, but we realized that we weren't going to be able to meet that deadline.
The deadline of sorts is this coming Monday, when daycares can reopen. However, they will have to follow several guidelines in order to welcome kids back.
It just means more staffing. You have to have your PPE in place, cleaning, and we were close, but we realized for the safety of the children and our employees, we weren't going to rush this. We were going to do it right.
Not rushing things and taking a step back. Mullins and the rest of her staff will take the extra month and hope they are ready for when things begin.
No, it's a relief. We hated it for the parents who needed us, but just knowing that we will be doing this right, exactly right.
Knowing this isn't an easy decision, but hoping it's the right one. In Hazard, Will Puckett, WYMT Mountain News.
And with those daycares reopening soon, we are one step closer to finishing phase 2 of Healthy at Work. Next week, again, larger child care centers hosting more than 10 kids may reopen with some restrictions. Fall sports may also begin conditioning with groups limited to 10 or less and no contact allowed. We are still waiting to learn what the governor has in store for all of phase 3. Well, in mid-May, JCPenney announced they filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy and plan to close nearly 200 stores this year. Last week, the list of those locations was announced, and 6 stores in Kentucky are closing, including the one at the Middlesboro Mall. JCPenney was part of that mall since it first opened in 1983, and property manager Carolyn Widener says it was one of their customers' favorite shops.
We have families that come from many areas around here. We're a tri-state area, and they come from other counties in Kentucky and Tennessee and Virginia.
Widener assures customers the mall will stay open even with the closing. Other locations in our region are staying open. If you can donate blood, the Kentucky Blood Center needs you. Officials say a nationwide shortage is hitting Kentucky. KBC put out a message yesterday calling for donations, but did not get the turnout they expected today. As Jim Stratman reports, the need is still great.
When the pandemic hit, organizations like the Kentucky Blood Center had to cancel their big blood drives, but the community stepped up and filled the gap. Now that the state is reopening, that gap has reappeared, and the Blood Center officials are hoping that the community will step up once again.
We want to have a 3-day supply of blood on hand at all times. We are definitely well under 1-day supply right now.
And Mandy Brayua with the Kentucky Blood Center tells me that's because of many reasons. Doctors are doing more elective surgeries, less people coming through the doors of blood donation centers, and the pandemic still halting major blood drives.
We put that out yesterday hoping people would go online and make an appointment. I was hoping to pull up the schedule this morning and see all the appointments booked for today, but there's quite a few vacancies on our schedules at our donor centers, and so we really still need people to come out. On a normal day when we, weren't worrying about social distancing, we could probably process double that amount of donors here. So 72 is already kind of cutting into what we really would love to have, but that's just the situation and we have to handle it. So we really would love to see every one of those slots booked up. We'd love to be at capacity every day if we could.
Brayoa says hospitals depend on blood donations for surgeries and other medical procedures.
Blood center officials say that they're not accepting walk-ins because of the COVID-19 coronavirus, but you can call ahead and register for a time to donate. Reporting in Lexington, Jim Stratman, WKYT.
Now, you are required to wear a mask while you donate blood.
Well, it's been a pretty hot day here in the mountains, and we're going to see that continue until a cold front moves in and brings us some relief. But first, we're going to have to deal with that heat first. We'll go ahead and take you up to that Jackson camera where you can see beautiful sunshine throughout the day today. And we've just seen a few high clouds moving in. 84 degrees right now. That dew point of 65, though, making it feel a little bit warmer out there. So feeling closer to 86. Some of us are seeing dew points into the upper 60s to lower 70s. Temperatures across the region, lower 80s up towards Moorhead, Prestonsburg, Pikeville. I think y'all have seen just a few more clouds today, so it probably kept you a little bit cooler, but mid to upper 80s down in parts of the Cumberland Valley. Satellite and radar showing kind of some bands of some clouds starting to move into the Cumberland Valley, so hopefully it'll cool you guys off here in a little bit. And these bands are all because of Tropical Depression Cristobal, and you can see that that's now starting to impact a little bit part of actually western Tennessee and possibly even a little bit into western Kentucky, but they will stay west of us. Won't have to deal with those remnants, just dealing with those clouds for now. Now tomorrow, though, we are going to continue to see the heat and humidity. Few storms possible. The best chance for storms is going to be Wednesday as a cold front moves in, and then after that, sunshine returns, and we'll look at some cooler temperatures by Thursday. Have a look at that 7-day forecast coming up in a little bit.
All right, thank you, Paige. The search continued today for 22-year-old Tyler Russell, who was pulled away by a current made from water being released at the spillway on Laurel Lake. He was swimming at the time. This photo was taken of Tyler not long before everything happened. He was last seen wearing the swimming trunks you see in this picture. Officials have been searching since Saturday evening. Kentucky Fish and Wildlife and several other organizations are at the lake assisting with the search. Danny Moses, Whitley County's emergency management director, says they have used sonar as well as a helicopter trying to find Tyler. They added that tomorrow they will have dogs out searching. Tyler's family told us they believe he could still be out in the woods and would like help searching. Officials say they are still actively searching for him and hoping for the best case scenario. Of course, we'll keep you updated on that. Nearly 500,000 Kentuckians have requested an absentee ballot for this month's primary. The Secretary of State's office says that's about 14% of registered voters. You have until June 15th to request one. Those ballots will have to be postmarked by June 23rd, the day of the election, to be counted. If you still want to vote in person, there will be at least one site open in each county for voters on Election Day. We were all saddened to learn late last week about the untimely death of Geraldine Turner, the wife of former WYMT News director and anchor Tony Turner. Geraldine died Friday in Greensburg, Kentucky, where she lived, in a car crash. Tony also died in a car crash 18 years ago this month. There will be a visitation Wednesday and Thursday in Greene County and another visitation and funeral service Saturday at Loyal Funeral Home. Geraldine was a native of Harlan County, just like Tony. Please keep Tony and Geraldine's children, Courtney and Cameron, and the rest of the family in your prayers. Geraldine Turner was 57.
Well, we're going to continue to see those hot and humid conditions for tomorrow, but scattered showers and storms return by Wednesday, bringing us cooler air by the end of the week. The rest of that 7-day forecast coming up.
And a new job manufacturer here in Perry County hits a major milestone as more jobs may be on the way.